I've been diagnosed with PKD, which is a genetic disease. I was diagnosed in my early 30s. Yeah, PKD affects the kidneys. You get enlarged cysts which continue to grow, and eventually you have kidney failure. The first I found out about my PKD was my father needed a transplant, and he was on dialysis at the time, and I went to get tested to see if my kidneys were okay, and that's when I found out. So I couldn't actually donate a kidney. And my brother did the same thing at the time, and he found out that he had PKD. And so neither of us could donate to our dad. Yeah. So he stayed on dialysis, and he eventually passed away. So prior to having my transplant, I got quite sick. My energy levels were really low. I was working full time. I was on dialysis at night times, 3 times a week. Yeah, just nauseous feeling in my stomach a lot, just really tired, I suppose. During my kidney transplant, Jenny was pregnant.
Yeah, I was pregnant with Bo.
Yeah, that was kind of hard.
It was full on, and they knew something was going on with Bo in utero, but they weren't quite sure. His scans weren't coming up quite normal. So with Damien in hospital and going through a transplant, and I remember on the day of the transplant, we had one of the midwives ring and say, "There's something going on with your baby, there's something wrong." So that was probably the hardest part. Bo was diagnosed in 2014. We noticed when he was lying on his tummy that he had a bit of a bulge coming out of the left side of his tummy, and we didn't think that looked right. So we took him to the doctor. She was concerned about an enlarged spleen. So we took him to have an ultrasound, and it was there that we saw that he had cysts on his kidneys as well. And given Damien's history, we sort of put 2 and 2 together, and obviously the doctor as well. And he was diagnosed with Polycystic Kidney Disease at that time. PKD affects Bo's life because he's 9 years old, and most children don't have to worry about having a genetic disease at 9 years old. He's seen his dad go through some health issues. Obviously, he was only a newborn when Damien had a transplant, but he knows all about it. Bo's had to change a diet than what he was used to now an extremely healthy diet, which is good for him, but a little bit hard for a 9-year-old not to eat junk at a party. Yeah. So that's a major thing, and also sport. He said he liked soccer. He can't actually play unless he wears a specialised guard around his abdomen. And
decided that I do.
Yeah. We did ask him a while ago if he wanted to wear the guard for basketball, and he was a little bit embarrassed. He didn't want to go ahead with it. He thought he didn't want to wear something that none of the other kids were wearing, but now he's decided that he likes sport enough that he's going to get one fitted. But there's not much else we can control. There's not a treatment yet, there's not a cure yet. So it's basically what we can do to help him is mainly what he eats. Yeah.
Good damn, people eat on this. Come on.
My kidney now is almost 10 years old, which I did get from my mother. And the average lifespan of a living-related kidney is 10 years. So I suppose from any time now it could possibly fail. So that's I suppose a little bit on my mind now that it's up to 10 years. So, but hopefully get another, 10, 20, 30 years out of it. Yeah.
Without a treatment or cure, that we're just in a little bit of limbo. We don't know what the future holds for Bo, whether he'll need a transplant in 5 years or 10 or 20. And in his case, because he has a liver condition as well, it will be a kidney and liver transplant, which is quite complicated. So a cure would be the best case scenario for him. So that's why we're so passionate about spreading the word and trying to raise awareness and funds to get a cure for this disease. If you'd like to help us find a treatment and a cure, please donate now at pkdaustralia.org.